guys, to start with today, I'm going to put some pictures up on the board, on the projector, and I'm going to ask you to discuss what you can see in the pictures. Specifically, can you see any connection between the pictures? And do you know any extra information about these connections that you see? Okay, I'm going to ask you to speak with your partner about this for 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, and then we'll have a chat together. Okay, so are you going to read questions or look at pictures? Pictures. Fantastic. And what are you going to talk about the pictures, David? Is it more than one picture?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're going to talk about what? The
links between the pictures.
Good, the links, that's a nice word. And also if you know...
What anything extra.
Anything extra. Thank you very much, Michael. For how long?
3 to 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Michael, who's your partner?
David.
Aren't you lucky? Okay, so here we go, guys. I'll show you the pictures first and then I'll let you start. Okay. Okay, guys, so just for 3 or 4 minutes with your partner, chat about those, and what do you think the connection is?
They all peace up.
Yeah, I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. But yeah, come on, try to go to Peru, South America. So it's very Spanish,
Okay, guys, can I stop you there? Let's have a chat together. There's lots of intense conversations going on. Fantastic. Steph, what did you guys say was the connection or the link between the pictures?
It's the Incan.
What's your picture?
Spanish conquistadors, so highly you said, invading
Invading the Inca territory.
Anything similar?
Yeah. Colonization.
Say it again?
Colonization
Of
the Inca people of Peru.
by the Spanish.
Yeah.
Mary? Did anyone recognize this place?
Machu Picchu.
Fantastic. And as Luke said,
Spanish conquistador.
good. And then you had that
Peru.
the map there as well. If you look
This
at
is
the
showing sort of how our population diminished over time as more of the conquistadors came in, and then you're kind of connected to conflict between people.
good, Michael.
And there's some extra information about the population decreasing. So the Spanish conquistadors would give free blankets out to the Incan people.
Oh yeah,
And get warm, but then they're infested with smallpox, and the immunity of the Incan people, they've never been exposed to that, so it just wiped them out
all the
completely.
time.
Okay, that's very, very interesting. Thank you. It's a very interesting fact. Yeah, Luke, who's this again? Just say the word.
A Spanish conquistador.
It's not vital that you know that word, but a conquistador.
Use the painter.
Conquistador.
Cool word.
Yeah.
Use the painter.
Sorry?
Use the painter.
No idea. So what's the topic of our lesson today? The Incas. Fantastic.
Okay.
So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to read a text about exactly what we've been talking about, this connection between the Incas and the Spanish, and you've got the map to give you an idea. Okay, so this is going to be our text today. It's like a little bit of information about the history. What kind of things do you think that the text will talk about?
This invasion of Inca territories.
Invasion, good. Anything else? Laura?
Hispanic
Why?
culture there.
Why the Spanish came?
Why?
Their
Possibly.
purpose
Their location.
Location.
When?
David?
When?
Good. Yeah.
Their civilization.
In what way do you mean their civilization?
Well, I mean, when the Spanish came, like, where were the Incas in terms of civilization? Their architecture, their culture, their dress, their
ways of life.
resources, their
They
form of
were
military as
agricultural
well,
people.
like how the Spanish went.
They were the only not warring South American clan.
What word did you say, Lo?
The ways of life.
Ways of life, yeah, culture, that sort of link. Perhaps, yes. So we're going to read the text in a moment, guys. Just before that, I just want to look at some words that are going to come up in the text. Okay. This is a map of the world. Not right now. All right, about 100 years ago. Can you all see the red? Okay. The red represents all the countries that were once under the Queen of England, essentially. Queen Victoria? Yeah. So, can you see South Africa's there? Are we under her now? Are we under her government? No, but were we?
Yeah.
What were we part of, this whole red thing? We are part of the Commonwealth now, but we were part of the...
British Empire.
Okay. Alex?
British Empire.
What's the last word that Alex said?
Empire.
Sanele?
Empire.
Yeah. So was it just like one country or lots of countries?
Lots of countries.
Could we make our own rules if we were in the empire, or did we have to follow the rules of the Queen of England? Mark? Mark?
Yeah, we have to.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Okay. And there's the word. Alright. Let's go to the next one. Here's a man walking out of a shop with lots of stuff. Do you think he bought it?
No.
Does this look like a shop normally does, or something happened? Something's happened. I'll give you a little bit of background to the situation. There's been a riot out on the streets. So what some people have done is they've gone into the shops and they've done what? They've stolen. Good. They've taken stuff. But it's happened during a riot. So what can we say? Luke, say it again.
Looted.
So did they buy it or did they steal it?
Steal.
Did they sneak in the middle of the night, or were there loads of people outside?
Loads of people outside.
Because there was a
Right.
Good. So what's that word again?
Right.
What's the verb? To loot.
To loot.
To loot. What's the noun form or the ing form?
Looting.
Jason?
Looting.
Alright, thank you. Now the pirates, you know pirates. Arrgh. Hundreds of years ago, they used to do something similar. They used to like park their boats and get out of the boats, and they would go into towns and they would just take what they wanted. But back in the day, they didn't use the word looting. There was a slightly different word. Close. Also starts with a P.
Plunder.
Seth?
Plunder.
Did you hear that, Alex?
Plunder.
Good. Do we use that word a lot now?
No.
No. But is it similar to looting?
Yes.
Did they ask nicely for the stuff, or did they just take it?
No.
Do you think they left the town in a nice state, or did they completely destroy it almost?
Destroyed.
Fantastic. What was the word again, Nayo?
Plunder.
And put it in the noun form for me.
Plundering.
Again?
Plundering.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, there we go. Okay. On to the next picture. Here we've got some guys killing other guys.
War, conflict.
Absolutely, yeah. But describe the way, the way that they are
Massacre.
killing them. It's not very nice. It's very, very
Violent.
violent. Okay. What's another way that we can say very, very violent? Possibly. It starts with a B. I've heard it.
Brutal.
Okay. Alex, say again.
Brutal.
Did you all hear that? Did you hear that, Seth?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Brutal.
Brutal.
It was brutal, dude.
Brutal.
Brutal. Yeah.
Brutal.
Is this an extreme word?
Yes.
Absolutely. And traditionally, we use it in different ways now. Like if you go up to your friend and you're like, you look fat in that dress. You can say, oh, that was a little bit
Brutal.
brutal. Yeah. But is it the same in this situation? No. It's referring to the level of?
Violence.
Absolutely. Fantastic. And is it a very high level of violence?
Yeah.
It's very, very intense. Good. And there it is again. It's an 8. Okay. So, let me just go back quickly. Lots of countries taken over by one country. How did we refer to all the red?
Empire.
Yeah. Listen, empire.
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 Good, Steph?
Empire.
Lovely.
Empire.
Good.
Empire.
How many syllables does that have?
2.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's got like it's almost like a sort of 2.5
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Yeah, it's one of those strange. So we definitely have the first one, and then we have this good. But a lot of people just say empire.
If you're the queen, yes.
Good. Empire.
Delta Empire.
But if it is 2 sounds, I think we can almost say it is. What are those last 2 sounds? M, and then the last two. Pie. Good. So pie. Almost like a pie, and then afterwards you finish, you're like pie. Where's the stress on there? First or second? Empire.
Second.
Empire. Good. What kind of word is this? Adjective, noun, verb? No. Fantastic. Did the countries who were in the empire necessarily want to be in the empire? No. Or were they taken by force? What are these guys doing again? Looting. Listen. Looting. Looting. Everyone together, looting. Looting. Andrea? Looting. Lovely.
Looting.
How many syllables?
2.
Where's the stress? Looting. What kind of word is it in this sense?
Gerund.
Gerund, which is essentially a noun. Okay. What are the pirates are?
Plunder.
Nuri? Good. Listen, plunder. Plunder. Mark?
Plunder.
Lovely, thank you. How many syllables?
2.
Yeah, absolutely. What did we say though? Did we say plunder or?
Plundering.
Paying attention. So plunder is the verb, but plundering is the? Good. How many syllables now?
3.
What's this sound here? Is it ooh or ah? And where's the stress? Plundering. Plundering.
Beginning.
Esmina?
Beginning.
First one. Good. Yeah. So with looting and plundering, are they buying stuff or they're stealing it?
Stealing.
Are they leaving everything intact once they leave, or are they leaving it in a complete mess destroyed?
Yes.
Fantastic. Good. Do we use plundering now necessarily? So that's sort of older word. And then there was the last one. What kind of violence was this, Seth?
Brutal.
Say it again.
Brutal.
Listen. Brutal. Brutal.
Brutal.
David?
Brutal.
Thank you. What did Seth say? Seth said brutal. You know, that's a funny thing that we do in English. How many syllables does brutal have?
2.
Very often in South African English, T's, especially in the middle of the word, change to D's. Okay. It's a very South African thing. But for the sake of today, it was brutal. You can say brutal, it's one. But definitely 2 syllables. Now, you see here, there's also this letter. Is it an U or an A? So is it the same as this one? No. Brutal. Short or long sound? Brutal. It's quite long, isn't it? Where's the stress there?
Beginning.
Brutal. Brutal. Michael? First one. Bru. Hey, bru. Good. What kind of word is brutal? It's describing. Yeah. Good. Fantastic, guys. So there are some words that I'd like you to look out for in the text that you might need to know from the text. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do now, I'm going to give you the text, okay, and I'm going to ask you to read the text quickly on your own. And I'd like you to, what's missing from the text? It says it there. Is a title or a heading. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to read the text and write a title. Okay, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes to read the text and 1 minute to write the title. So if you've got 3 minutes to read the text, are you going to read every word, or are you going to get the general idea of the text? Yeah, absolutely. Now a title is usually related to the text or not?
Yeah.
Yes. What does it contain? Every idea or the general main idea? Fantastic. How long are titles usually? Are they more than perhaps 7 words? Less than 3 words? So your title is going to be somewhere between perhaps
3 and 7.
3 or 4 to 7 words, but I don't want more than 7, please. Okay. Are you going to read together or are you going to read alone? How much time do you have?
3 minutes to read and 1 minute to decide.
So like, are you going to read in detail or are you just going to get the general idea? And you're going to write how many words?
4 to 7.
And the title should contain what?
General idea.
Steph?
The main idea.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Steph. Okay guys, so once I've given the last person the text, you can begin. Alright everyone, please put your pens down and I'd like you to talk to your partner and compare your titles, check that they're the right amounts of words and see if you've got anything similar to your partner. If it is different, discuss why you wrote something perhaps different to your partner. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do that. Okay, so
It's so different. Yeah, I thought you said about, you know, they were talking about how cool they were. So I really need to know what the fact
Alright, let's hear some of your ideas, guys. So, Sinem, did you and Mark have something similar?
Yeah.
And do you want to tell us about it?
So mine was the Fallen Empire, and his was the Inca and the Lost Temple.
The Lost Temple. Great. Did anyone else have anything? So there was this idea that they are. Someone else had lost as well.
Yeah.
Asmina?
I had Inca and then Lost but Not Forgotten.
Did Noreen have something similar?
Not really, but hers was along the lines of them being wiped out, so unfairly wiped out. So she focused more on the devastation surrounding it. So mine sort of has devastation, but it also brings back the idea that we still know so much about them and we're still finding things.
So there's this idea that they're not here anymore. Seth?
The Incas go along South America's lost cause.
Someone else said something about gods, David.
Mine is gods that went extinct.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic. Jason, Laura, anything else?
We wrote very different things. I wrote the amazing empire of the Inca culture, and he wrote the defeat of the conqueror. So,
No, absolutely, but it went into a lot of detail about the empire. And Alex, you and Hansela?
Angela has the amazing Inca. The amazing Inca.
So it's very similar to mine.
because
Mine
we
is
had
more focused on before they were conquered.
Okay.
Inca Empire of the Clouds.
Lovely. No, absolutely. But the general idea was that it was this empire. Okay. And yes, and absolutely, you had that idea that, was it a positive that they disappeared or generally a negative feeling? Good. So there was that element in your title, so well done. Okay, that's I'm going to ask you to read again in a moment. And this time, before, did you read in detail or just for the general idea? Detail. You read?
We were meant to.
You got the general idea, you were meant to, yeah. And this time I'm going to give you a little bit more time to read in a little bit more detail. This time I'm going to give you about 6 minutes to read the article again, okay? And I am going to give you something to do while you read. A piece of paper that looks like this, all right? Here there are 4 columns and here there are 8 phrases. They're not complete sentences. What I'm going to ask you to do is put each of the phrases under the correct column as you read, okay? The first column is the Inca Empire. The second column is the Inca Society. The third is the conquistadors, and the fourth is Machu Picchu. All right. So what you do is you read the phrases, and according to what you read in the text, you put each phrase in the correct column. Do you think you need to write the whole phrase or just the letter?
Just the letter.
They're lettered A to H, so just write the letter, not the whole phrase. Okay. Well, just quickly, what's the difference between the Inca Empire and the Inca Society? Do you think? Remember that idea of empire, Naya?
His empire is everybody that they, because not necessarily conquered, because the Inca were friendly. Everybody that they gathered and joined, and then the society I think was just socially them.
Everyday
living.
No, I mean a good way to explain it is just through the British Empire. So what I'm saying, so you had the British Empire, there was their empire, but the society in, let's say, Australia or New Zealand had its own culture. There wasn't, it was under British rules, but their social rules were there.
So empire, is it talking about their day-to-day life or the area that it made up?
The area that it made up.
The area that it made up almost, and perhaps numbers of people. But also the society is then referring to their everyday life, culture, things like that. Fantastic. Okay. So just as an example, the first phrase is 12 million people. 12 million people, and your choices are the Inca Empire, Inca Society, the Conquistadors, or Machu Picchu. 12 million people. What does that refer to? Empire. Everyone agree? David, do you agree? Fantastic. So A will go into the first column. Okay, guys. So are you going to write the full phrase or just the letter?
Just the letter.
Can you use one phrase in more than one column?
No.
No. So one phrase goes in each column. Okay. And how long have you got this time?
6 minutes.
Reading alone again or together this time?
Alone.
Alright guys, I'm going to stop you there. Please put your pens down. Please don't worry if you're not finished. Can you please just check the answers that you do have with your partner and see if you have the same. If you have different, discuss why, please. So Sonele, can you just stop you, just check. Don't worry if you're not finished.
Oh, the religious places.
Okay guys, can I stop you there? Let's check together. Don't worry if you haven't checked all of them yet. Alright. We did A together. What did we say for A again? Empire. Wonderful. Luke, what did you have for B?
B, I put at Machu Picchu.
Laura, did you have the same?
I have the same.
Wonderful. Laura, can you tell us where you put C, please?
Inca Society.
Alex, the same?
Yep.
And what did you say for D, Alex?
I said the Conquistadors.
Everyone agree? Luke, the same? Anything different? Okay, fantastic. This is always a very dangerous question to ask, but did you find it an interesting text?
Very.
They were a fascinating group of people, weren't they? I think the part of the text that most surprised me when I read it was the fact that there was so much more to them than I knew. I did always, even as the text said, they weren't just this kind of brutal society. And I think the thing that surprised me the most was that they were an empire, but not by conquest. They were an empire by assimilation. I mean, has that ever happened again?
Yes, Romans used to assimilate all the time.
Okay, but you know, again, that surprises me. All right, so what I'm going to do, guys. Yes, Michael.
Like it implies that they did use violence as well.
They also used violence there.
Absolutely. But that wasn't just what they were about, because very often when you learn about the Incas, they were just this like brutal race. There was actually a lot more to them.
Compared to the other civilizations at the time, they were not brutal.
So what I'm going to ask you to do, guys, so what did I just tell you? I gave you my opinion about a personal opinion about something that I read. Okay. So I'm going to give you a piece of paper that looks like this, and you're going to see lots of beginnings of sentences. For example, the first one is the part of the text that surprised me was, and then I gave you my answer. Another example is, I think the worst thing about the conquistadors was. Okay, now there's quite a few of them. All right, there's 2, 4, 6, 8 beginnings of sentences. I'm going to ask you to choose 2 of these and complete them with my ideas or your own ideas?
Our own ideas.
Yeah. So I want you to do this alone, just to start with. Just write your own ideas. Okay. Are you going to write ideas for all of them, Nayo?
No, just 2 of them.
You're going to choose 2. Fantastic. Can you choose any 2 that you want?
Yes.
Are you going to write your own opinions about South Africa or about the text you just read?
About the text you just read.
Wonderful. On your own, I'll give you guys about 2 or 3 minutes just to write your sentences. Alright guys, so hopefully everyone's got 1 or 2 sentences that they've completed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put you into groups. Okay, so 1, 2, so nearly 3, 4. So you guys are a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're a group. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're a group. What I'm going to ask you to do is, not now when I say, is stand up with your piece of paper, and I'd like you to discuss your sentences within your group and see if anybody completed the same sentences as you. If so, maybe they completed them in a different way. Listen to the ideas that the other people in your group had about the text they just read. Okay. So, are you going to do this sitting down or standing up?
Standing up.
Pairs or groups? Okay. Are you going to be giving your piece of paper to someone in the group, or are you going to be telling them what you wrote?
Telling them.
So, do you think you'll ask some more questions about other people's opinions? Good. Alright guys. And I'll give you guys a good sort of 5 minutes to do this. Lots of talking. Stand up for me.
Okay, who wants to go first? Well, this might be interesting. So, because I remember reading about, the second thing, I think the conquistadors were able to beat the Inca army because apparently it's like the Inca army. They had a different idea of war, so they actually take touch with the conquistadors. So it's like they wouldn't kill the guy. What they would do is they go up to these and go like that. Like kill these, and they stop. But they don't actually kill the guy. Because they changed it later on. I heard this.
Everyone, can you come sit down please and join me? Let's have a chat together. I want to hear some of your ideas. Sorry to interrupt, guys. I do hate to interrupt a good live by discussion. Yeah. Jason, what was Seth so passionately talking about then?
Right now or earlier, because you were speaking passionately?
I want to speak passionately.
Either.
Right now, he was telling us about how, like, because Sanele asked him, do you think it's possible to, like, expand your colony without being violent? And then Seth kind of answered him by saying that, well, at some stage there is like military conflict, but then there needs to be a point where they reach an agreement. So that's where the actual taking over happens.
So it kind of like sparked some quite lively discussion going into other things even as well. Anything else, Laura?
Well, we had different ideas about how the conquistadors were able to defeat the Inca army.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was because they had firearms and horses, and maybe Incas thought about them like gods, like it happens with other cultures.
Sure.
But I said, thought another story.
Okay.
Do you want to hear this? I just remember reading something where they had a different idea of war. So they would actually, the Incas were play fighting. So that so they would go up like to a conquistador and like like that the axe and they go up behind him and they touch him. It's like now I done, play dead, Whereas the conquistadors were like
sorry.
How about that one? You know what I mean?
Okay,
But like that they initially, I mean it changed a little bit, but initially like the Incas were sort of taken by surprise because they used to play fight like that with other things. Like I've shown my dominance, there's no need to actually have bloodshed, I would have won. So, stop it there.
Yeah. Michael?
I also read that when they arrived, they were kind of welcomed by the Inca people, and then they went to a big banquet with
That's
the
Aztecs.
That's the Aztecs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this text that you read. Mark, what else? What did your group talk about?
Just how brutal they were. They used smallpox to actually decimate the population.
Yeah, brutal is a great word to describe it. I know that you wrote something about
Biological warfare.
What else, Andrea? What did you guys have a chat about? Anything similar in your group?
Well, I said the best thing about the Inca, my opinion, was that they were tolerant and assimilated new peoples, their culture and religion.
And then I said the same. I said I think the best thing about the Inca is the acceptance and admiration of other societies.
Lovely words. Great vocabulary. Thank you. Fantastic. And your group, Asmina?
Well, Noreen and I both answered the question about I would like to go to Machu Picchu because, and she said to go and look at the culture and the history, the historical context. And for me, it was sort of similar, but I'm quite keen to go and climb the mountain and maybe do a little bit of research there what I can. That's my archaeology coming through.
That's the big inspired that you
But
are
there's no
archaeology as well.
oxygen, so that's
And yeah, I mean,
why you
I'd
might
accept
want to
no.
not go.
And Hansela, anything else?
I had the same thing as Andrea and you.
Okay, yeah, so that
So,
idea.
yeah, where they were very tolerant. So.
There seemed like a very double-sided society there. They're kind of like side of them that might have been brutal, but also very assimilative. Great. Okay, guys, fantastic. I'm glad that you enjoyed the reading. That's great, and I hope everyone learned a little bit of something new today, and also some new words and things like that. So thanks very much.
Thank you.